Now the first one is a very awesome picture here because this is the 1878 Morgan dollar, okay, silver Morgan dollar here. Now there's 3 different ones that you can look for here, okay? So for the 8 tail feathers, we look here on the left side, you can count those. If you want to pause the video and count the tail feathers, you will see that they got 8 tail feathers right there on the screen. Alright, so 8 tail feathers, they only produced a little over 749,000 of those coins. So they are super rare. And then you got doubled feathers where we have pretty much 7 over 8 tail feathers there, and you can see that there as we zoom in on those feathers. If we go over here to the other picture where we got 7 tail feathers, which again you can pause the screen and count those if you would like. Now 7 tail feathers, they produced over 9.7 million of those coins. So a big difference from 8 tail feathers where they only produced around 750,000 to over 9 million for the 7 tail feathers. Now there's also other 1878 Carson City, 1878 S mint marks. So there's different ones of those as well. Just know that we're talking about the different tail feathers. Alright, so if we look at some coins, here is an 1878 with the 8 tail feathers. You see on the coin slab it says 8TF. So that's abbreviation for the 8 tail feathers. Now this coin here is extremely valuable because of that, because of it being a low mintage coin as well as its high grade. So this coin here sold for over $35,000. Now if we look at the same exact coin in much worse condition, this coin is still worth some good money. This coin sold for over $480 in this condition, graded at a very fine 30. But again, it's got that 8 tail feathers, low mintage, so that is why it's going to have some value. Now, if we move on to the 1879 Carson City mint mark. So they only produced 756,000 of these coins. And by the way, for the Morgan dollars, we are looking at mintages, I believe, under just 1 million produced. Alright, so the 1879 Carson City. Now on the reverse, you will see the Carson City, the CC mint mark will be at the bottom, right above the D and the O in the word dollar. So that's where you're looking for your mint marks on the Morgan dollars. Now this coin has got an extremely high grade, and of course it being a low mintage coin, it's going to sell for a lot of money. This coin sold for over $49,000. I would imagine that there's not many of these coins this year, this mint mark, out there with this grade. That will give it a lot of value. So if we go to the 1879, again, Carson City, that isn't in the best condition, this coin is graded at a very good 10, and this coin only sold for around $200. So really the condition of the coin is, the grade of the coin is gonna, determine the coin's ultimate value. So let's move on to the 1880 Carson City. They only produced around 590,000 of these coins, so that's why they're valuable. Again, this is a high grade. This coin sold for over $19,000. If we go to the not so high graded version of this coin, this 1880 Morgan dollar sold for around $180. So big difference because of the grade of the coin. Now if we move on to the 1881 Carson City, they only produced 296,000 of these coins. So these are super rare coins right here. This coin is graded at a mint state 68. I could not imagine having this coin where they only produced less than 300,000 in this condition. This is like super rare. So this coin here sold for $48,000, a little over $48,000. And then again, if we look at this coin, here's an 1881 Carson City, not great condition. You can see that it's definitely worn down a lot. And this Morgan dollar still sold for over $230. Next up is an 1885 Carson City. Now again, this is a very low mintage. They only produced 238,000 of these coins. So they are super rare. The high grade's going to give it a lot of value. This Morgan dollar sold for over $18,000. Now if we move on to this other dollar coin, again, same coin, just worse condition. This coin sold for around $400, and you can see how worn out this coin is. Now if you just have a regular Morgan dollar, it's not a low mintage date and it's really worn down, it's not going to be worth that much. It's got to be a low mintage or have any types of different errors or be a really high graded coin to have value. Alright, so moving on to the 1886 S mint mark. So we can see that there on the reverse of the coin, the S mint mark. They only produced around 750,000 of these coins. Again, this being the high-graded version of the 1886S. This coin sold for over $39,000. So if we go to the lower graded version of this coin sold for a little over $80. But let's move on to the 1888S. S mint mark. Alright, so they produced around 657,000 of these coins. Again, this coin is graded at a mint state 67. That's what gives it a lot more value. And this Morgan dollar sold for over $21,000. But again, if we go to the lower graded version of the coin, this coin only sold for around $135. So a huge difference in prices based on the grade of the coin. Now if we move on to an 1889 Carson City minted silver Morgan dollar. So for this coin, they produced only 350,000 of these coins. So again, very low mintage coin, high grade. This silver dollar sold for over $43,000. Now if we go over to this other dollar coin, this is the 1889 Carson City, very good 10 grade. And this dollar coin sold for over $900. Moving on to an 1893. Now this one is pretty cool. They only produced around 378,000 of these coins. So again, these are super rare coins as well. Mint state 66 grade. This dollar coin sold for over $44,000. What in the world would you do with $44,000 if you could sell one coin out of your collection for $44,000? So for the 1893 Carson City mint mark Morgan dollar, they produced 677,000 of those coins. Now this coin here sold for over $48,000 because of that high grade and that low mintage. Now this is the same exact coin, much lower grade. This coin sold for around $350. So a huge difference in prices there. Now if we go to the 1893 no mint mark, they produced around 378,000 of those coins. Now this coin here sold for around $170. It's got a very good 10 grade, not a high grade at all. But let's move on to an 1893 O mint mark, so New Orleans minted Morgan dollar. This coin sold for over $42,000 because of that low mintage and because of the high grade, of course. And they produced 300,000 of these coins for the O mint mark in 1893. Now if we look at 1893 O mint mark, New Orleans minted, coin that is you know, a lower grade, this coin here sold for over $160. So really always look out for these specific dates that I'm mentioning with the mint marks that I'm mentioning as well. Now let's move on to an 1893 S. Now they produced only get this, 100,000 of these coins. So these are super rare. Man, I could imagine how many actually exist out of 100,000. Like how many are still out there, you know, like in collections altogether. I would love to know like how many actually exist of this date and mint mark. Now this coin sold for over $43,000 because of that low mintage, of course, and because of its high grade. Alright, so this coin here is definitely a much lower grade. Now, you can tell that it's very, very worn. It is still the 1893S, so that means that it's always going to have value because they only produced 100,000 of them. But this coin sold for over $3,400. That's right, $3,400 in this condition. That is just amazing. Moving on to an 1894 Morgan dollar. Now this coin sold for over $40,000 as well because they only produced 110,000 of these coins, and of course it's got that high grade of a mint state 65. Now for the lower graded version of this coin, this isn't the lowest grade that you can get, but you understand what I'm saying. It's much lower than the mint state grades. Now this 1894 Morgan dollar sold for over $1,000 even in this condition because again they only produced 110,000 of those coins. Now for the 1895 New Orleans minted O mint mark, this coin sold for over $48,000, and that is because they only produced 450,000 of these coins, and of course it's got a high grade of a mint state 63. Now for the, you know, worn out, lower graded version of this coin, definitely a lot of wear on this coin. This Morgan dollar sold for over $200, still in this condition. The coin's been cleaned, it's damaged. So always be on the lookout for these dates, because no matter the condition, you can still sell these coins. Next up is an 1895 S mint mark. Now for the 1895 S, they produced 400,000 of these coins, and this particular coin here sold for over $32,000. That's right, 32,000 US dollars. Now if we look at the 1895 S in a fine 15 grade, this coin here sold for over $550. So much difference in prices, again, based on the grade of the coin. Now for the 1899 Morgan dollar, this is the no mint mark. They produced 330,000 of these coins, and this coin with the high grade sold for over $12,000. Now if we look at the lower graded version, this coin here sold for over $130. So again, a big difference there. So always be on the lookout for those rare Morgan dollars in your coin collection, or if you're buying coin collections, because you can make a lot in profit if you get a bunch of them cheap that are you know, low mintage. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle, check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.